But let's talk about Manchester United now. Of course, they've got a new manager coming in at some stage when he's got through the COVID rigmarole that he has to go through. He's self-isolating, etc. But there will be a time, I'm guessing it won't be ready for Thursday's game against the Arsenal, but there will be a moment where he does take over finally. What big changes, what major decisions do you think he'll make? One of them, will it be the captain of Manchester United?
Well, that's the first thing I think you have to do when you go in. If you're going to be a leader, you have to decide which player represents your style of management and pick your captain to suit that. So that's the first big job he's got. And the next big job is everybody's going to want to know what's going to happen to Ronaldo. So his first selection will be vital, and the message it sends out to the media and to the club as a whole, Manchester United. So I think the first one is the captain. I think that's the first decision he has to make.
Let's talk about the captaincy for a moment. I'd love to get United fans and football fans, actually, because what I'm going to ask is going to be quite generic. So 03717 223344. Do you think the role of a captain, even more so at a bigger club,
I think
obviously,
it's important.
Do you think it can weigh you down? Do you think it can change your performance? Do you think so?
Of course it can. You only have to look at the bigger the club or national captain, it can really wear you down. You only have to look at some of the captains of yesteryear or big clubs or for their country at football or cricket, and how they look from how they started as a skipper. There can be a lot of pressure, especially at the bigger clubs. But obviously, if you do well and you're the captain, you're the one who gets all the credit, aren't you? That's just the way professional sport goes. So I think a big club like Manchester United, the captain is a huge role. So and it can play. I know I undermine it sometimes, and I have on here when I said he's captain of football, he does, he tosses the coin. But it's more than that, okay, if I'm going to be really honest.
Let me ask you then. So Harry Kane, I think we all agree, he, along with the majority of England players, if not all of them, had a great Euros. He played fantastic. Wasn't the captain for England. Okay? The captain for Manchester United, things as late haven't been going too well for him. Do you think that if you took the captaincy away from him, that his form would change because he's...
Well, you don't know, dear, but I think he'd be upset about it.
Without a doubt,
I think he would like the honour of being captain of Manchester United. Wouldn't you? I would, and I'm not a Manchester United fan.
I like him. I think he fits the bill. I think he looks like a captain of Manchester United.
But I think it has got to be a mirror of you, though. And I think that's why Roy Keane was such a good... Look at his captains. Sir Alex Ferguson. The captains he had, who he trusted with the captaincy. It kind of got the message across how he wanted it to get across.
We got quite a few leaders in that side. If you take out Harry Maguire now, right, you could put David De Gea back in the mix, but he's been captain. Okay,
yeah,
where else does that leadership come from? You could argue Bruno Fernandes could be the captain. I don't necessarily know.
Well, Rashford has shown terrific leadership skills with the work he's done off the pitch.
Yes,
and there's no doubt he'd be a good leader on the pitch. But the problem is, will he play every single game for Manchester United? Right. They've got so many good players in that position, that forward line. It's a very, very difficult one. But I think he's definitely future Manchester United material, captain material, without a doubt, especially with the things he's done off the field. But I honestly do. I think a new manager coming in, and he's going to be there 6 months. And obviously, if they win the title this year, we're still not going to win the title, but if they win the Champions League, he's not going to go and sit in a consultancy role then. He's going to get the job for it, right? So it's got to be someone he knows is going to do everything he wants to do and has the same kind of principles in football. So that's the first big decision. And to get to that, you have to meet every single player individually. So I don't think there'll be immediate change, but it might be in the next 3-4 weeks. He might just naturally make that change.
Could Ronaldo be a captain for Manchester United?
Well, interesting, the Ronaldo one, isn't it? Captains his country. But Ramos obviously was his captain at Real Madrid. You won't get the armband off him.
No one
and he wasn't the captain at Juve because they had obviously Chiellini. And now he's come back to Manchester United and it's Maguire. So is Ronaldo captaincy material? I don't know. I don't know him, but I think he's one of those where he is a leader on the pitch.
See, there's no doubt about it. It's got to be a player that you know he's playing every single week. And when you look at the United side, there's a few. Obviously, you think when they're fit, both fullbacks will, but you know that Aaron Wan-Bissaka won't be the captain. Luke Shaw probably won't be the captain. Lindelof, it's going to be him and Bailly, so it won't be him. David De Gea has been there. Then you're looking at Fred and McTominay. You know they're not going to be the captain. We've talked about Bruno.
Matic, they don't play enough.
Right. And then difficult. You mentioned Rashford. He might not be playing week in, week out. We know
I think
Sancho,
he is a good fit moving forward, though. He might not be ready yet.
Who, Ronaldo?
No, Rashford.
Oh, Rashford, okay.
I think not this time. In a couple of years' time, I think Rashford will be captain of Manchester United.
Do you?
I honestly do, yeah.
Okay, well, let's put it out there to you lot in Radio Land, United fans and football fans. The football fan question can be just, if you do take the captaincy away from a player, can it maybe take a weight off their shoulders? Do you think you would get a different performance out of Harry Maguire if he wasn't the United captain? I need convincing on that one. Yeah.
Yeah, it really is a good question. I think the initial would be huge disappointment if Maguire wasn't to be captain, because it's such a big job he's been given there, and he must be so proud the fact that he's the captain of Manchester United. It's just sad, but it's been in such a bad period for their football. So it's a huge call for the manager coming in.
I would keep him.
It's a huge call. Just on Manchester United, we did this yesterday. I don't know if you touched on it last night, but I actually said about Wan-Bissaka, people criticise him the way he goes forward, probably on the right side as a wing-back. What would your idea be about him playing in a 3 on the right-hand side?
Well, I can't remember. I talked about this with Darren Bent on Friday when we were talking about how United would set up against Chelsea, and I suggested that you should play Wan-Bissaka in a 3, and then your wing-back could be Jesse Lingard.
I said it at the start of the season as well, because I honestly do believe that might be his best position because of the way Manchester United want to play with a wing-back.
Yeah, I don't know if Jesse Lingard can play as a wing-back, but I like Jesse Lingard. I'd like to see him in that team. I know he's got a lot of pace. And the wing-back role's changed dramatically over the last
the most vital position now.
Yeah, it's huge. It's huge. Not just running down the wing, but cutting in as well. We've seen it with Reece James. We've seen it with Trent.